Because that is a two-way street, because Donald Trump has been mad at you for a very long time, over a decade, yes, you see, I'm a little edgy. I've spent pretty much 90% of my waking hours tweeting criticism of this administration. It started from The View, yes, The View. We've sort of made the joke on the show that he's flip-flopped on everything except you. Actually very true. Did you think Melania was just playing the role of the quiet, obedient wife for years? During her appearance with Seth Meyers, Rosie O'Donnell challenged that image by revealing more about the Trump marriage. The most unexpected thing was not only what Rosie shared but also how Seth Meyers got her to speak about it on television. Melania's reaction told us a lot about whether what Rosie said was true. Before we continue, and Trump's public relations team is in crisis mode, I have a small favor to ask. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. More than 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing, even though it doesn't cost anything. It means a lot to us. Have you clicked the subscribe button? Fantastic. Thank you. Back to the video. No one has been more of a challenge for Donald Trump than Rosie O'Donnell. Among his many critics, she's been vocal for nearly 20 years, as if she lives rent-free in his mind. Why her recent comments about his marriage have gotten so much attention. There was a woman named Tara Connor, I believe, a young Irish woman who won the Junior Miss Trump Atlantic City pageant. He said, "I just want you to know I've forgiven her." And this young woman, I thought, what is he, the pimp and she's the prostitute? Who is he to be the moral judge of 20-year-old behavior now? She was a 19-year-old girl, out drinking and kissing another girl, and it ended up on the cover of the Post. Trump held a press conference right before The View aired. When Trump decided to give the beauty queen another chance after allegations of drug use and underage drinking, Rosie didn't agree. Their well-known feud began back in 2006 on The View, when Rosie criticized Trump for acting like a moral authority regarding Miss USA Tara Connor. She questioned his credibility as a moral leader given his personal history. She called him a snake oil salesman. Looking straight into the camera, she said his businesses had filed for bankruptcy 4 times, that his wealth came from his father, and that he often didn't pay private contractors. Yes, and he reacted very strongly, and stayed that way. If Trump gets indicted, it would be really great if Mueller let you serve the papers. Feel like I've already asked for that. On Twitter, most public figures would have brushed it off, but Trump became extremely upset. His intense reaction showed how much Rosie got under his skin. He called her overweight, a loser, and many other things, and that was only the beginning. Years later, during a presidential debate, when Megyn Kelly asked Trump about calling women names like fat pigs and dogs, the most revealing moment was when he immediately responded with, "Only Rosie O'Donnell." That shows how deeply that grudge runs. Rosie didn't just criticize him once and move on. She became one of his most persistent critics, regularly appearing on talk shows to question his character and business practices, like a walking archive of Trump's statements and actions, because she's been keeping track of them for years. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Rosie built relationships with people who really knew Donald Trump, including Michael Cohen, his former lawyer and fixer. While many critics rely on public information, Rosie went further. After Cohen turned on Trump and went to prison, she visited him multiple times. These weren't casual visits. Imagine what Cohen, who handled many of Trump's personal matters, might have shared during those conversations. In 2019, Rosie began visiting Cohen in prison and developed a real friendship with him. Had once said he'd take a bullet for Trump. Cohen knew where all the secrets were. Rosie didn't just pass the time during those visits. She was learning from someone who had been there through Trump's marriage, his payments to silence scandals, and his private behavior. Cohen had handled Trump's affairs, prenuptial agreements, and many aspects of his personal life, and there he was, in a jail cell, talking to one of Trump's most outspoken critics, Rosie O'Donnell. She listened to him, knowing he had been betrayed by Trump, and the fact that Rosie held on to all of that information about Trump's marriage for years is quite remarkable. She waited for the right time to share it, and now that time has come. When she appeared on Seth Meyers' show, another vocal critic of Trump known for encouraging candid conversations, it offered a rare glimpse behind the carefully managed image of the Trump marriage. This went beyond typical celebrity gossip. She spoke about their separate bedrooms, the contractual nature of their relationship, and a cold, business-like dynamic that seemed far removed from a traditional loving partnership. Her friendship with Rosie gave her access to private information that Trump has reportedly spent large sums trying to keep hidden. Rosie was told she needed to work on breaking the negative thought loop in her mind, and was reassured that he is not going to win, a sentiment shared by many who believe he will not return to office. The most revealing moment came from an unexpected place, a late-night comedy show. While Trump continued to speak out against what he calls fake news, Seth Meyers has become known for turning light-hearted chats into deeper, more revealing discussions. His conversation with Rosie O'Donnell was especially effective. When critics of Trump come together, particularly those with personal insights, revealing conversations often follow. Seth Meyers isn't a typical talk show host. While many aim for simple laughs, he blends sharp humor with serious journalism, making him skilled at drawing out private details, such as those about the Trump marriage. His closer look segments are well known for carefully examining and criticizing Trump's statements. On this occasion, the set lighting, relaxed atmosphere, and casual jokes about Trump helped Rosie feel at ease during the show. As the conversation unfolded, there was a clear shift from playful commentary to something more revealing. The audience sensed it too. It felt like they were hearing things not meant for public ears. It was as if a locked vault had been opened, and inside were stories about Trump and Melania's relationship. Seth was strategic with his questions, often approaching controversial topics indirectly, such as asking about Rosie's connections to people in Trump's circle. In a relaxed tone, he even asked about her favorite breakfast cereal, which helped set the stage for more personal disclosures. When Rosie began talking about Donald and Melania's relationship, Seth asked careful follow-up questions. He acted surprised at times, which encouraged Rosie to continue sharing, often revealing more than she likely intended. The audience responded with gasps and laughter as they listened to what sounded like inside knowledge of one of the most scrutinized marriages in the country. As Rosie became more comfortable, she elaborated on the couple's separate living arrangements and described their distant communication style. Occasionally, Seth reacted with expressions of surprise, which only encouraged Rosie to continue. Even while the interview was happening, the production team recognized its impact. Clips were quickly prepared for social media, and highlights of Rosie's comments began to spread online almost immediately. Soon, hashtags related to Trump and the marriage started trending, and by the next morning, millions had seen the interview. Rosie's long-standing awareness of Trump and her connections to people close to him made the information especially compelling. Seth Meyers provided the perfect platform, and the conversation carried a sense of authenticity. Rosie described a marriage where the couple rarely spent time together and could go days without speaking. Even when they were in the same building, staff members reportedly served as intermediaries, passing messages between them. As Rosie described their separate routines, the audience remained captivated. She said their public appearances were only made when absolutely necessary. According to her, behind the distant interactions and separate bedrooms was a contract more significant than it appeared. The implication was that details of Melania's engagement ring might suggest a very structured agreement, one that could surprise even experienced lawyers. The polished holiday photos and formal gestures the public sees might be part of a broader arrangement that includes bonuses and scheduled payments. For years, Melania's public image has portrayed a supportive and loving partnership.